In this video, I'm going to compare the latest Fitbits Sense and Versa 3 against the Mobvai's latest Ticwatch E3, which is quite hot at this point in time, especially since Google has confirmed that Ticwatch E3 and Ticwatch Pro 3 will be getting latest Wear OS update. Guys, you're watching VidsTube, and if it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking. Here's a review: smartwatches, smartphones, headphones, etc. So if you're into all that kind of stuff, you must consider subscribing. Everything is time coded along the video timeline for ease of viewing. So let's start with price and model option. Following on from 2019's Ticwatch E2, the 2021 Ticwatch E3 is a smartwatch with big ideas and an attractive price tag of only 249 Canadian dollar. Mobvai also offers Ticwatch Pro 3, which is also eligible for the Wear OS 3 update, as both of these Ticwatches have the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon Wear 4100 processor. Ticwatch Pro 3 will cost a whopping $400, but Ticwatch E3 will be an easy recommendation, as it almost has all its specs minus the dual layered display. Check out the full review of Ticwatch Pro 3 linked at the end of this video. Ticwatch E3 also does not have a cellular version. Mobvai also offers a lot of other budget and premium smartwatches, so make sure to check out the links in the video description, where you'll also find a discount code. Well, Fitbits Sense will cost you $399 Canadian dollar at the time of filming this video. Fitbits Sense is Fitbit's premium smartwatch with all the bells and whistles. Fitbit also offers a cheaper version like the Fitbit Versa 3, which will cost $299 Canadian dollar, which is identical to the Fitbit Sense, except it lacks sensors like ECG and EDA, that is the electrodermal activity sensor. You can also get Fitbit Versa 2 for $229 Canadian dollar, and I have done a full video for Fitbit Versa 3 versus the Fitbit Versa 2, which you'll find linked at the end of this video in case if you decide to go with Fitbit. So let's find out if Fitbit Versa 3 is worth the additional $50 over Ticwatch E3. Now, in terms of specs, instead of me reading out all the specs, just pause the video and read through all the detailed specs for both these smartwatches listed on this side of the video. Few mentionable differences are that the Ticwatch E3 has a 1.3-inch circular display with 44mm polycarbonate and glass fiber-like body, with 360 pixel resolution, versus Fitbit Versa 3 has a 1.58-inch AMOLED display with 336 pixel resolution with a 40.4mm aluminum spherical body. So if you're someone who does not like circular watches and want a metal frame, then go with Fitbit Versa 3 or Fitbit Sense. Ticwatch E3 has the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon Wear 4100 processor, which surprisingly is only available on two Wear OS smartwatches at the time of filming this video, and those are the Ticwatch E3 and Ticwatch Pro 3, both by Mobvai. And the latest Google's Wear OS 3 update will only be available for these two smartwatches. So if you're planning to get a Wear OS smartwatch, I will highly recommend to go with either of these watches, as no matter what discount another smartwatch manufacturer offers, they will eventually not get any update and no app support. At this low price range, Ticwatch E3 is packed with 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB of storage. All this power makes it very fast and smooth to navigate. On the other hand, despite of Google acquiring Fitbit, both Versa 3 and Fitbit Sense still uses Fitbit's proprietary OS, which does have its own watch face and app store, but I personally would prefer Wear OS app store. Both these Fitbits has 4 GB of internal storage, but you won't be able to store offline music on them, unlike you can on the Fitbit Versa 2, and I have already criticized that in a comparison video linked at the end. Other than that, in terms of sheer specs, both Ticwatch E3 and Versa 3 has all the specs like Bluetooth 5.0, Wi-Fi, NFC for Google Pay and Fitbit Pay, built-in GPS, heart rate sensor, blood oxygen sensor, accelerometer, gyroscope, IP68 waterproofing, built-in speaker, microphone, and all the bells and whistles. But keep in mind the ECG and EDA sensors are only available on Fitbit Sense. Mobvai at this point does not offer ECG on any of their smartwatches, which I'm looking forward to. With the specs aside, let's briefly talk about the battery life. Ticwatch E3 has a 380 mAh battery size, which is subjective to your usage. But in my case, with daily usage, it goes to about 2.5 days per charge. I don't use always on display, which this Ticwatch E3 has, but always on display in any watch is a huge battery drainer. And I think even with the always on display, Ticwatch E3 will easily get you past 1 day mark. Ticwatch E3 also has the essential mode, which is good for up to a month, and it's programmable to your choice of battery percentage. However, it's auto turned on at about 3% of battery level even when you have disabled it. But here is where I'll prefer the secondary LCD display of the Ticwatch Pro 3, which is very handy and easily replaces the power hungry always on display, giving the Ticwatch Pro 3 an amazing battery life over any other Wear OS smartwatch, which are inherently poor on battery performance due to the demanding OS. Ticwatch E3 uses a proprietary pogo pin magnetic charger, which is strong, but I would rather prefer wireless charging as it's super convenient. All smartwatch manufacturers should consider this, as nowadays all smartphone has it, so why not smartwatches? Fitbit Versa 3 on the other hand can easily go over 5 days per charge. Even with the always on display, it can easily go past 2 to 3 days, and the best part is it has the Fitbit's fast charging via the proprietary magnetic charger, which gets it fully charged under 60 minutes. So if you're someone who has to use always on display and needs a watch with great battery life, just go with Fitbit Versa 3. Now both these watches offer all the basic features that you'll need, like alarm, flashlight, find my phone, stopwatch, calendar, to-do list, etc. If not natively included, you can download third-party apps from the App Store. Both these watches will work with both iPhone and Android. Obviously limited functionality when paired with an iPhone, like unable to reply or interact with any notification, etc. Both these watches offers payment option and security if you add a payment option. You can download a lot of third-party apps from the App Store. I'll make this video super long if I were to show you apps and watch faces, so head down in the video description and you'll find individual playlists for both these watches, where you'll find multiple specific videos for apps, watch faces and games on both these watches. But more importantly, for me personally, I will prefer Ticwatch E3, as the repertoire of the both paid and free games, apps and watch faces is more than Fitbit's App Store. Plus, with Fitbit, you cannot transfer songs, videos, and images as you can with Ticwatch E3, even when paired with an iPhone, and I recently did a video for it, which is linked up in the card section. You can check it out once you're done watching this one. Let me give you a brief demo of music and video playback, which will give you an idea of its speaker quality. One important point to keep in mind is that with Fitbits Sense or Versa 3, you cannot download apps or watch faces from the watch. You have to go on the Fitbit mobile app to access the apps and watch faces. Versus on Ticwatch E3, you can download straight from the watch. In terms of watch faces, simply take my words for granted, there are more watch faces on Ticwatch E3 versus Fitbit Versa 3, as I can't show you all the options in this video. Guys, if you made it this far in the video, I thank you so much for sticking around. Please smash that like button and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out any upcoming videos. Come on guys, just do it, it's free. Now, both these watches offer voice assistant. Fitbit Sense and Versa 3 both have a built-in speaker and a microphone, and they both have Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, for which I have done separate detailed videos, again linked in the Fitbit playlist, which you'll find in the video description. However, Google Assistant on Fitbit cannot talk back despite of it having a built-in speaker, but it can do pretty much anything else that you want, like set an alarm, set a timer, check weather, do a quick math, do a quick web search, etc. But it cannot make a call or send a text message. The same goes with Amazon Alexa, but somehow Alexa can talk back to you via the built-in speaker. Keep in mind, you can only use one of them at a given time, either Alexa or Google Assistant. Even Alexa can't send a text message or make a call. Now, Ticwatch E3 has Google Assistant, which pretty much can do all the tasks that Fitbit Sense can, even when paired with an iPhone, but the major difference is that it's very fast and error-free compared to other Wear OS watches like Fossil Gen 5, Moto 360, etc. due to the snappy processor and fast RAM. Now both Fitbit Versa 3 and Sense can receive a regular Bluetooth audio call even when paired with an iPhone, but you cannot make a call from the watch. The call quality is decent, but I personally like the speaker quality of Ticwatch E3. However, on Ticwatch E3, in my case, I wasn't able to take or make a Bluetooth audio call when paired with an iPhone, so keep that in mind if you're planning to pair it up with an iPhone. But you can receive and even make a Bluetooth audio call from the watch when paired with an Android phone. Now, both these watches can give notification, but when paired with an iPhone, you cannot interact or reply any message or notification. You also can't even get iMessages, and that's not just with these watches. Any non-Apple smartwatch won't be able to do that when paired with an iPhone except Apple Watch. However, on both these watches, you can type a reply, use emojis, or can reply and even interact with notification when paired with an Android smartphone. I personally like the keyboard layout and functionality of Ticwatch E3. Now finally, let's talk about health and fitness tracking and wrap this video up with my final say. Both these watches can measure health data like heart rate accurately and continuously in background. Here's how they performed against this FDA approved O2 ring by Value, for which I have done a full in-depth review linked up in the card section. You can check it out once you're done watching this one. Ticwatch E3 has SpO2 sensor and can take a reading at a given point in time, and also can monitor nighttime SpO2 variation, and here's how it performs against the O2 ring. Fitbit Versa 3 has a disadvantage. Despite of it having an SpO2 sensor, it cannot take an individual reading at a given point in time. Rather, it only takes relative SpO2 during sleep. Now both Sense and Fitbit Versa 3 has skin temperature measuring sensor, but don't get your hopes high, it ain't a thermometer. Rather, it measures relative temperature change during your sleep and menstrual cycle for females. This is not available on Ticwatch E3. This is a room for improvement. The major caveat with Fitbit is to access your own detailed metrics from EDA scans, skin temperature, stress, etc. You have to pay for Fitbit Premium. Now Ticwatch E3 can track your sleep with a good insight to your sleep data and gives you a sleep efficiency score. With the start and end time, awake time, REM sleep, light sleep, deep sleep time, with ability to track your sleep record, and also tracks your heart rate and SpO2 in background during sleep. Fitbit Sense and Versa 3 also tracks your sleep with a good insight to your sleep data and gives you a sleep score. But Fitbit does not show the heart rate graph with highest and lowest level. Fitbit does show the estimated O2 variation, but it does not show the highest and lowest number like Ticwatch E3 does. So I will personally prefer Ticwatch E3's sleep tracking. Both these watches can auto-detect few outdoor workouts and gives you a reminder alert to stand up after a period of inactivity. Both these watches offer breathing exercise session via the built-in Relax and the Tic Breath app, where you can take a breathing session to relax, and the watch does give you a vibratory feedback to inhale and exhale. And you can check the history of your breathing session from the mobile app. Ticwatch E3 offers Tic Hearing to monitor the background noise level in decibel, which is not available on Fitbit. Compared to other Wear OS smartwatches like Fossil, Moto, Skagen, etc., which uses Google's health app like Fit Breath, Fit Goal, and Fit Hearing, I really like the Ticwatch's own app like the Tic Pulse, Tic Health, Tic Exercise, Tic Sleep, Tic Oxygen, Tic Zen, which is for stress monitoring, Tic Breath, Tic Hearing. All these apps are also available on other MobVoice smartwatches like the Ticwatch Pro 3, and once you use them, you likely won't use other Wear OS smartwatches. Now in terms of workouts, Fitbit Sense and Versa 3 are very good at overall workout tracking like distance, speed, calorie burn, GPS tracking, etc. However, Fitbit offers few workout options. Fitbit Sense has a unique active zone minute, for which I have done a detailed video, again linked in the playlist, which you will find in the video description. Ticwatch E3 on the other hand offers 20 different workouts. They both are pretty good at workout tracking. From my testing, I find that Ticwatch E3 is much better at GPS route tracking than Fitbit Versa 3, and they both are just slightly apart in terms of other metrics. But for outdoor runners, keep in mind with Fitbit, you don't have the free option to listen to the onboard music. So they both are good, but if I were to pick, I would go with Ticwatch E3. So here are my final thoughts. Both these watches are great. They are also a great alternate to Apple Watch for your iPhone. I personally will go with the Ticwatch E3 as it's $50 cheaper than the Versa 3, and for almost every aspect it outperforms Fitbit Versa 3. Especially I can watch videos, listen to the stored music, and see images straight from the watch, which does make it feel like a smartwatch with a ton of third-party apps, games, and watch faces compared to Fitbit. Even if I were to compare Ticwatch Pro 3 versus Fitbit Sense, I would still choose Ticwatch Pro 3 as it's about $60 cheaper than Fitbit Sense. I agree Fitbit Sense has the ECG and EDA, but if you're a young healthy adult, ECG and EDA are redundant anyways. So why not save some money and get the cool secondary LCD display? So with that said, let me know in the comments down below which one would you pick. And guys, such in-depth comparison videos are very effort intensive to make, so come on, show some love by hitting that like and subscribe button, and consider following me on my other social media platforms, which you'll find linked in the video description for all my videos. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, check these videos out as you may find them helpful to further refine your choices.